Today, we're looking at the blueprint that's going to allow you to close at least 4 transactions every single month. This is the exact same strategy that I share with all of the real estate agents that I personally work with. And it works regardless if you just started in the business or if you have no money to spend. All right, so let's get right into it. Step number 1, set your schedule. Yes, it starts with something that simple, something that we take for granted many times. It just amazes me how many of us stop working a 9-to-5 job and start working in real estate, but never really define what our schedule is going to be. Folks, half the battle is showing up. So you guessing what days and what hours you're going to put into your real estate career just isn't going to cut it. So your first assignment is deciding how many hours are you willing to work per week. Some of you are doing this part-time until you can get to full-time, and some of you are doing this full-time. Either way, you need to define this for yourself. How many hours are you willing to work every single week? Now, your second assignment is truly establishing your schedule. What days and what times are you going to allocate to your business? So as an example, with many of the school teachers that I work with, we have a 5 to 8 Monday through Friday schedule because throughout the day, they're at school, they're teaching, that's their profession. And then we allocate 12 to 5 on Saturday for some open houses, and same thing on Sundays from 12 to 5. But again, that's just an example, and chances are that's going to look very different for you. So number 1, establish how many hours you're going to work every single week. And then 2, schedule that out. What days and times are you going to work on your real estate career? Just think of it this way. You showing up to your business every single week, every single day, every single hour, you're already more than halfway there. Commit more to your business than somebody else's, because when you're working for somebody else and working to build their dreams, the moment that you quit or pass away, they're going to go and hire somebody else immediately. So now that you have your schedule, we're going to go to step number 2, which is generate the business. Here's the thing that we have to realize. People need to know that we're in real estate. People need to know that we can help them buy and that we can help them sell. In other words, this is when we stop being that secret agent, because it's not about who you know at this point, it's about who knows you. So here's the formula to generate some business. Let's say you're working 40 hours a week. That's the amount of hours that you're committed to working. Well, 85% of that time should be spent on getting people to know you. So this is either prospecting directly or doing marketing. And the other 15% of the time, you're either servicing the business that you're acquiring or you're working on yourself, so sharpening the sword. In other words, learning contracts, learning new things, really developing and working on yourself. So again, if you're working 40 hours, you're gonna spend 85% of the time, aka 34 hours, actively prospecting and marketing to generate business. Step number 2 is designed to give you a framework or some guardrails, if you will, because now that you have your schedule and you know what days you're going to be working and the amount of hours that you're going to be working, this segments that a little bit further. Now you know that if you're going to work 5 hours on a particular day, well, 85% of your time should be spent in actively generating some business. And 15% of the time, it's going to be you servicing that business. But before we get to step number 3, where are my manners? Allow me to welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is Jaime Resendiz, and I help real estate professionals exponentially grow their business through actionable content. And I'm on a mission to help reduce the over 80% failure rate for real estate agents. So if you can hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, it's going to really help me out. Now, in step number 3, we execute on revenue generating activities. This is when we actually execute and perform the work. The following structure are actually the lead generation strategies that you're going to use to bring in buyers and bring in sellers. The first strategy and the immovable strategy, regardless of where you are in your career, is working your sphere of influence. Working your sphere of influence can be seen as one lead generation strategy, the strategy that's going to be the backbone of your real estate career. Now, I have a video on working your sphere of influence effectively and on autopilot right here, so check it out. But again, working your sphere of influence is just one strategy that's going to be the foundation of your career. What you're going to need is to grow that sphere of influence and bring in some people that have no idea who you are. And you can do that by actively prospecting or executing on some passive marketing strategies. This is what I call the 2-1-3. So I hope that you're taking notes, because now would be a great time to write this down. For your real estate business to take off the way that you want to, you need 2 active prospecting strategies to execute consistently. You're going to also pair that up with 1 passive marketing strategy and round third base by posting on 3 social media platforms. So as a reminder, the 2-1-3. 2 active, 1 passive, and 3 social media platforms. Some examples of active prospecting strategies include door knocking, cold calling, open housing. Those are active prospecting strategies. Those require you to execute actively. So as an example, if you do not pick up the phone and call, well, it's not going to get done. That's why it's active. That's why you're actively prospecting. Now, examples for passive marketing strategies include YouTube, include blogs, include Pinterest, those types of platforms. And the reason that that's marked a passive marketing strategy is because people will stumble across your blogs and your videos and then come to you. The passive strategy only required you to press publish on that YouTube video once, and then a week later, a month later, a year later, 10 years later, somebody is calling you. So that's as passive as it gets. You execute once and then you reap the rewards later. Now, the way that we teach social media, we spend less than 45 minutes on any given day on our social media strategy. Since we need 3 social media platforms to focus our business on, we have to select just 3 social media platforms. Our primary platform, let's call it Facebook, we're gonna post every single day. Our secondary platform, let's call it Instagram, we're gonna execute and post on it Monday through Friday. Our third platform, let's call it TikTok, we're gonna execute on that strategy Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we're gonna spend no more than 15 minutes on each platform. So as an example, if you're gonna post on Facebook, you're gonna log into Facebook and you're gonna like and comment 3 posts from 3 different individuals. Then you're gonna publish whatever you're gonna publish, whether that's a image, whether that's a video, and then you're gonna top it off with 3 more likes and comments of additional posts from additional people. So again, you're logging into Facebook, you're engaging with 3 profiles, you're posting, and you're engaging with 3 more profiles, and then you're leaving. Again, we're using social media to make money. We're not there to waste some time. All right, so since we're going a bit quick, I'm gonna show you a real life example. Let's assume that you've decided to work 4 hours on a Monday in your real estate business. Well, that means that you're gonna spend 3.4 hours of actively growing your business, either through active prospecting or doing some marketing, which is gonna leave you 0.6 hours to service your business. Now again, since you're starting out, chances are you're not gonna have a lot of business to service starting out. So you're gonna replace that time with sharpening your sword and learning something new to really get better as a real estate agent. So you're gonna start off by reaching out to your sphere of influence. That's not gonna take any longer than 30 minutes. So please make sure that you watch the video that I shared earlier, and I'll also link it down below so you know how to effectively reach out to your sphere of influence. Now, once your sphere of influence is done, now we're gonna go into our social media. Remember, this isn't gonna take longer than 45 minutes. And since it's a Monday, we're gonna post on 3 social media platforms. We're gonna call it Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So we're gonna log into 3 platforms and engage with 3 profiles. Then we're gonna post, and then we're gonna engage with 3 more profiles. That won't take us any longer than 45 minutes. So we have about an hour or an hour and 15 minutes already accounted for. So that means that we still have at least 2 hours left to continue growing our business. Now we're gonna go into the active prospecting strategies that we decided for ourselves. So let's just say for your 2 active strategies, you decided to execute on cold calling and also doing open houses. So you're gonna do some cold calling. You're gonna call FSBOs that went active on that day and also that went active 3 weeks ago. Then you're gonna call your expireds. Again, the expireds that went expired on that day and also expired over 3 weeks ago, which then you're gonna round it off by doing some circle prospecting. Then you're gonna move on to executing on your open house strategy. Now, since it's Monday, you're not gonna do the open house that day, but you're gonna prepare yourself for the open house on the weekends. So on Mondays, you're gonna start emailing those agents that have a listing that's been on the market longer than 3 weeks. Why longer than 3 weeks, you're asking? Well, because at that point, the listing agent most likely is not gonna do an open house for 3 weeks straight. So they're gonna be more open to giving you a yes because they want to justify their commission in the eyes of the homeowner. Now, if you do this correctly, chances are you're gonna consume those remaining 2 hours that you had left for that day, which is okay. You actively push your business forward. But in the event that you have some time left over, now you're gonna work on that passive marketing strategy. So if that strategy happens to be YouTube as an example, well, you don't have to record the video on that day, but you can start preparing to record that video. Now, remember our video making workflow that we've talked about ad nauseum here on this YouTube channel, Boss Red. Brainstorm, optimize, script, record, edit, and distribute. That's the workflow that you're going to be using here as well. Now, I know it sounds like a lot because guess what? It is. However, we're assuming that you're working on a Monday for 4 hours. Many of you are working a lot more hours than that. So this is going to start really making sense, and it's going to allow you to start building your business in different ways the more time that you put in. Because let's be real here. You part-time agents, not that there's anything wrong with you, but understand that you part-time agents, you're competing against full-time agents that are putting in 40, 50, 80 hours a week. So we can't just pretend that time doesn't matter, that time doesn't exist, because in theory and in actuality, those full-time agents are going to outperform the part-time because they're spending so much time in the real estate business. Anyways, this system works for both of you. So in this example, you were working 4 hours on a Monday, which meant that 3.4 hours you were working on growing your business. You were following up with your sphere of influence, you were posting on social media, you were doing 2 active prospecting strategies, and you were also including that passive marketing strategy. And that 0.6 hours that was left over was you servicing your business. You actually doing the real estate work, you actually sending out properties to people that you promised you were going to send properties out to. You showing homes, you writing contracts, you negotiating, you going on appointments. That's that window where you're actually servicing your business. Now, here's the thing. This is how it starts. The reason we're spending so much time in actively generating business, aka 85%, is because we don't have a book of business. So we have to be very aggressive at securing some business so we don't go out of business. But as you continue to grow and get some closings under your belt and get more referrals and start growing your entire real estate career, you're going to start seeing that little ratio start inversing. So it's going to go from 70 to 30. Then it's going to go 60 to 40, 50, 50, and on and on. Pretty soon you're going to have more business than you can handle, and you're going to have to hire some people to help you service all of the business that you're generating.